question and hold to account the election candidates for Ward 19 in Nairnshire. It's good to see so many of you. I'm going to be acting as David Dimbleby for this occasion. The questions have all been received and have been independently put into the community councils, the Nairnshire, and I have 3 put through the door of the manse. We're going to be asking the candidates, it's going to work this way. What's going to happen is that we'll ask 3 candidates, so each gets a chance to speak, to answer a couple of questions, and the others feel so inclined to contribute that, of course, they'll be offered that opportunity. And the other thing to be said, each of the candidates, some might be well known to you, perhaps others less well known, so they're all going to be given an opportunity of 1 minute to talk about themselves. And when you hear this, the minute is over. The other thing I should say is, this hustings has come about because the people expressed the fact that, in a good old-fashioned way, that we should be actually speaking to our councillors and re-engaging with politics. And very kindly, Ian Bain of the Nairnshire has put in the ads and done the promotion, so it's completely independent. No one candidate, no political party has funded anything to do with this. And our church, we always like to have open and participating with the community, so I hope you can accept me as an honest broker. But to make sure that things are done correctly, Mr. Bain will tell me when I'm out of order. Okay. So I'd like to invite each of the candidates perhaps to come and speak to the microphone, and for 1 minute, Liz, say who you are, what you're about, and why we should vote for you.
Thank you, Stephen, and I'm pleased you're not like Jeremy Parksman here tonight. I'm Councillor Liz MacDonald. I've been a councillor since 1999, and I've always tried my hardest to put Nairn first in whatever respect I've been representing the town. I'm a Scottish National Party councillor, and I always have been, but I do think Nairn's the first priority and the folk that live here, and I've been quite shocked at some of the things that have gone on over the last 3 years that I'm aware the questions are tied to some of these issues, so I'm quite happy to answer on them tonight. And I'm always available for folk if you want to get in touch with me or to raise any issues either publicly or privately. I'm always happy to hear from people in our community.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Colin Macaulay. I'm standing for the council, also for the SNP. I'm 58 years old. I've got a background in public health and education. I've worked for the council, the NHS. Lived in Nairn for 20 odd years. First of all, near the War Memorial for the last 8 years out in Moss Side. I've been married for 30 years. I guess I know well Nairn as well as an incomer really can over a 20-year period. My kids have gone to school here. I've been involved in a lot of organisations over the piece, and I hope I will be a good representative and advocate for anybody that requires me in Nairn.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Ashley Broadbent, the Scottish Labour Party. 35 years in local government, 18 of those as a senior manager of Highland Council. I retired 5 years ago from the post of Inverness Area Roads Manager's position. Prior to that, I held 2 head of service jobs within Highland Council, one in leisure and recreation and one in protective services. My first job in the Highlands was Deputy Director of Leisure and Recreation with Inverness District Council. Previous experience as well, 8 years in Falkirk, 8 years in Laurel and 3 years in Warwick as Parks and Cemeteries Manager. So a wealth of experience in local government across the raft of services. I've lived in there for the past 10 years. I think I know the needs of local residents. There's a lot of opportunities in there that I don't think we have taken full advantage of yet. I'd like to represent you in the council for the next 5 years. I'm looking to the future to see a bright future for there if we have the right policies in place. Funding is an issue, but we have to look at external sources of funding to develop and raise the profile of quality in there for both residents and visitors to the region. Thank you.
Good evening, my name is Robbie Fraser. I've been a councillor in there for about 9 years. Originally, I was born and brought up in there, and left Nairn when I was 19 and joined the police in London, where I worked for 4 years in Fulham, which has 2 football clubs, as we all know, Fulham and Chelsea. After 4 years there, I went overseas to the Royal Hong Kong Police and served there for 3 years in a variety of posts, before eventually returning here to Nairn to work in my father's business, which I've been running for the last 25 years once he retired. Originally I was 4 years on the district council, and that's back in the early 90s. I left that because it was amalgamated with the Highland Council. I didn't necessarily agree with it. I've been a Highland councillor for 9 years now, serving a variety of committees. I run the Boys Brigade in Nairn, I chair a number of charities, and the others are community work. The main committees. Okay, thank you very much.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Graham Marsden. I came to Nairn 40 years ago to run the Royal Marine Hotel. And then after that, I went and ran the catering Government's Garden for a time when it was very, very busy, 6,500 people a day. First experience of fighting for Nairn was the 1970s when the petrochemical plant lost an egg, which was going to bring bad egg smell across throughout the summer. Then started campaigning for the Highland Hospital. It only took 30 years, but we finally got there. Found a member of Nairn Citizens Vice Bureau 16 years ago. I live in Nairn. I've been involved in Nairn issues for a long, long time. I was a thorn in the side of Highland Council and often was quite rude about them. I've been a councillor for this since 2007, and our group, the Liberal Democrat group, has been leading the council for the last 4 years.
I'll try a different microphone. My name is Richard Cunningham. I'm standing as an independent candidate in this election. My family and I moved to Nairn 8 years ago, and I've been living in the Highlands for now 26 years. The last 21 of those I've been rector at Inverness High School. That's my current job, that's my day job at the moment. If I were elected, I would be a full-time councillor. I would have to give up my job the next day, and I would give my full-time energy to the job of a councillor. I wouldn't have any other ties. I think in terms of what I would tend to offer, obviously as a head teacher you have to deal with lots of people. You've got these days to handle multi-million-pound budgets. There's a whole range of skills that I hope I would bring to the job, but also I'm fairly tenacious. I don't tend to give up on things. I tend to stick at it. And at the end of the day, I would hope to do the best I can for you.
Good evening, folks. For those who don't know me, and I'm sure there's a lot there do, my name is Michael Green. I was born in Nairn. I left Nairn to go to university. I trained as a pharmacist. I worked in the hospitals, NHS, the pharmaceutical industry, but I also want to come back to Nairn. I set up an internet. I've been at this for 10, 11 years. My internet business is set up now so that I can actually devote time to something I want to do. What I really want to do is turn around Nairn. I feel very, very passionate about this because I don't think there's a better place at whatever point we take to go back in town. And I think we need to look at getting life back into the town. We need to try and retrieve some of the services that we've lost. And I just can't wait to get started. So thank you.
So the first question is going to be asked of the first 3 candidates. Later on we will be having an opportunity for people in the congregation, people in the audience to ask questions of the candidates too.